Back in the garage, back in the garage, back in the garage today, back in the garage today. What's up guys, back in the garage tonight to do a little work on my KTM. In order to complete this job, you're going to need the following tools. T30 Torx head bit, 8mm socket, small needle nose pliers, 4mm Allen, small screwdriver, flat bit, a piece of emery cloth, and optional, maybe some safety gloves. Now before you get started, make sure you check to see where your fuel gauge is currently at. That way when you plug this thing back up here after we fix it, you'll know if it's still reading correctly. First thing we're going to have to do in order to get to the fuel float is remove some of this bodywork. Let me show you what needs to be taken off. If you have a tank bag on your bike, you are going to have to remove it. Next thing you're going to need to do is remove the seats. So you don't necessarily need to take them all the way off, you just need to get them back clear because we're going to have to get to this screw here in just a minute. Alright, so you're going to use your T30 Torx bit to remove the tank cover. Just don't forget over here on the sides up front, there are also screws in here that need to come out. Okay, so after removing this screw right here, you should be able to just pop this body panel back and it's going to gain you access to this bolt right here. We're going to take that bolt off on this side and the other side, and then we can finally pop the tank cover off. Now with the 7 screws and the 2 bolts removed, should, man, I'm gonna have to take that off. Yep, it's not gonna pop off there. Well, son of a bitch. Alright, so unfortunately in the case of my bike, because I have that quick release ring on here for the tank bag, it's gonna have to be removed because it's just hitting on there and not allowing me to pop off this tank cover. Now, with any luck, this pop right up off of there. Alright, so with the tank cover removed, this is what we need to get out of here. First thing you want to do is unhook that connector and clean up anywhere around here if there's a bunch of dirt or what have you, because you don't want that to get down into your fuel tank. And then it looks like we're going to need, looks like maybe a 4mm hex to pull these two out. It's actually exactly what it is. It is a 4mm hex. Just get these two loosened up. Just be careful, there is fuel in this, so you want to make sure it stays down in the tank. And then be very, very careful right here. There is an O-ring, and you don't want to damage it. Now, for those of you that don't understand how this works, there's a float in here, and you can kind of hear it. Problem is, it'll get all the way up here to the top. Now it's going down right now, but it'll get hung up like this time. It didn't fall down, so we're actually going to make some modifications to it so it'll actually work properly. Alright, since you are dealing with something that's covered in gasoline here, I would recommend putting a pair of nitro gloves or something on just for safety. We are going to get a small flat bit screwdriver and pop this off of the bottom here. There goes the bottom of it. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see down in here, we've got this little middle piece. This, you want to make sure you put it back in the correct orientation that it came out in. But this is your float, and what we're going to do is sand this down a little bit to make it just a little bit skinnier so it doesn't get hung up top. Now I'm not going to take a lot off. We're like 20, depending on where we measure at, 28.8 little over 28 millimeters. We're just going to take a little bit off of here and see how it works. I'm actually going to use an emery cloth. Alright, so in real time I've probably been sanding on this thing a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I haven't taken that much off. You want to slide it back down over and then kind of hold your fingertip and use your fingertip to hold this in place kind of in the middle. And then just test it out. I can tell you, that feels so much smoother. You can tell, before you could tell where it was kind of hanging up there, and now, no problem at all. I think I'm good with that. Take a look at the measurement here. I trimmed that down. Let's get another measurement. About 2/10 of a millimeter is all I took off of here. I had it at it was at 28.6, 28.5, and now it's down to like 28.4, 28.3. Obviously I didn't get it perfectly round, but it should work. Now we just need to reassemble this and put everything back together. Just check it. You can tell if it feels smooth or not. Next thing we got to do is put this in. Now you can see there's a slit right there. That needs to line up with this. That'll hold that in place. Now if you look around here, you can see where it's notched in. You are going to have to re-notch it back, but you can take a little pair of needle nose and straighten this up. It should make it a little easier to get this in. You can push that back in with a small screwdriver. Make sure that fits back in and snaps back in nice and tight. You can see I've got that piece lined up. Test this a few more times. Everything's smooth, so we're going to put it back in the bike. All right, so the one thing we're going to do, it is reverse order. We're going to grab this O-ring here real quick first. Be sure to take that O-ring, now you can see it right there. I've put it back on this piece, and then I'm going to slide this back down into the tank. Now with the float back down in the tank, we got to put these 2 screws back in. Do not tighten them too much. This is just plastic, and the last thing you want to do is crack the case around here. With the screws back in place, we just need to plug the sending unit back in. And before we bother to put this all back together, we might as well test it and make sure it's working. And if I take a look at my fuel gauge, I see it's registering what it was registering before we took it out of there, so it seems like everything is working just fine. Let's put the rest of the bike back together. Alright guys, so that is how you fix the sticky fuel float on the KTM Adventure bikes. For those of you wondering, why didn't I just take it back to the dealer because it's under warranty? Well, that's actually the second one I've used. It's that cheap Italian stuff. I'm not kidding, it really is made in Italy. But it's a simple enough fix. It took me about 20 minutes tonight, start to finish. When it comes to how much to sand or shave off of there, I can't give you an exact measurement. All I can tell you is once that float starts sliding up and down the tube and it doesn't feel sticky at all, it feels really smooth, you've probably taken enough off. Don't take too much off because you can always take a little bit more off if you need to. Like I said, it's 20 minutes start to finish. Give it a shot. I know you guys all have the mechanical ability to pull this off. Anyway, I hope you found tonight's video informative, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you have any questions, and I'm sure some of you probably will, let me know in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, I'll talk to you again soon. Totally unrelated to the whole how-to video, I would like to introduce you guys to the newest member of our family. Welcome, welcome Arlo.